Hello there! In this video I want to tell you about my experiences with the B&W Foldon Box S for Brompton bicycles. I bought this box on my own expenses and I'm not sponsored for this video. This box cost me 200 euros and it weighs roughly 5.5 kilograms. It measures 67.5 by 71 by 35 centimeters. That's 173 centimeters in total, and thus slightly over the common 158 centimeters in total, which are mostly the upper bound required by airlines for standard check-in luggage. Nevertheless, it's marketed as a carry-on box for Brompton bicycles to take them with you on a flight. The reason I bought this case is that I wanted to try bringing my Brompton with me on a trip to Taiwan. I wanted to find out if I can do it, and it was possible. I had so much fun with the Brompton in Taiwan, but that is a story for another video. One video about my Taiwan trip with the Brompton is already on YouTube. Check it out on my channel if you want. The rest of this video is structured as follows. First, I give you some packing impressions with my Brompton. Then I tell you about my experiences of walking around streets and airports with the suitcase. After that, I will tell you what airlines had to say to me about the box and especially about the slight oversize. And finally, I give you my verdict and whether I would recommend this box to you. Let's start with packing the bike in the box. So first off, I remove all excess parts of the bike, so the hinge clamps, the pedals and the saddle. Then I protect the areas where handlebar and frame are folded to protect them from damage. In this case I use some wool socks. And I afterwards pack the bike in an IKEA dimper bag, which is very popular among Brompton users. There I also put in all the parts I just took apart or took away to have the bike contained. So the saddle, the pedals, the clamps. Afterwards I secure the saddle with some straps to avoid it moving around within the dimper bag and maybe damaging the frame or the seat post getting damaged. Then the whole Brompton within the dimper bag goes into the box, and as you can see here directly, there's still some space left to the top and also a bit to the sides. So I put in stuff like this from the Metro Messenger bag, and then also the Metro Messenger bag itself. I also have some things inside the Metro Messenger bag, and I can even put more stuff in there, like my helmet. I think it's very convenient that the fold-on box fits some items I use alongside the Brompton, so that I don't have to take them with me with my cabin luggage. Afterwards, the top part goes on and the box is closed with these straps. At this point, a first big bonus about this box, in my opinion, is that in its compact form, when you don't pack the Brompton inside of it, it's very small. And thus you can store it away at home very efficiently. And also at places where you're traveling, for example inside your hotel room or dorm room, if that's very small. Otherwise you would have a very specific big suitcase all the time when you're not traveling with the Brompton, somewhere lying or standing around and taking up space. So that's a big bonus in my opinion. Now let's come to moving around with the box. So here I'm taking it off at the airport in Taipei. As you might have seen in the beginning of the video, the wheels are quite small. Probably the reason for that is that the box already exceeds the common check-in luggage measures, but that brings a compromise with it. The small wheels can be very loud and roll over obstacles poorly. Just see for yourself and listen. On smooth surfaces there's no problem and the box rolls very well. But as you might be able to tell now, it can be quite loud on some surfaces, and this can be quite annoying also. I think that's a compromise that we will be ready to make to bring our Brompton to places far away, but it can be annoying. As you might also be able to see, I'm pushing the case and not pulling it behind me, because there can be a problem with the steering only being in the front. So the two rear wheels are not moving to the sides, and sometimes then it can be hard to really steer this box well. This can particularly become a problem in very narrow spaces, like among multiple people in an elevator or so. Yeah, and little edges can already be enough to completely stop the very tiny wheels. Okay, I think it's enough, you got it. Another bonus is that the box fits perfectly on escalators. That's very convenient for train stations and airports. So, how did airlines deal with me and this big box? At my flight from Munich to Taiwan, I was told I have to go to bulky luggage with this box, and they even told me I should have registered the bicycle beforehand and would have to pay extra fees. But I ended up not having to pay these fees, and I didn't know why, but this gave me a mixed feeling in the beginning. On my flight back, I also immediately had to go to bulky luggage, but it was no problem and I didn't have to pay any fees. So overall, my experience with airport staff so far is that you should expect some trouble and expect that they will send you to bulky luggage, but overall it should work fine. Let me know in the comments please if you have some experiences at airports with this box. Alright, let's come to my verdict. After the one trip I have done, I can recommend the B&W Foldon Box S. I had no problem packing my Brompton Sea Line in there, even though I have the high handlebar option of the bike. And the bike felt safe in there. Taking it with me on a flight worked fine, even though there were some discussions with airport staff. After my first flights, the box seems to be sturdy and I don't see any damages to the outsides or to my Brompton inside. Time will tell about its longevity. A bonus was that the box offers some additional space for items like a helmet or a bag. I'm not sure if comparable Brompton boxes or suitcases have that much space. And the biggest bonus was that it can be so compact when you don't use it, because all its outer walls are just folded inside of it. So you can in a way think of it as a Brompton or folding concept, not for the bike, but for the box to transport the bike. I mean, how cool is that? However, there are some issues, like the fact that only 2 wheels steer and the others are fixed, which can be an issue with maneuvering, especially in narrow spaces like in elevators. And as these wheels are so tiny, they can be loud on uneven surfaces like tiles. These wheel issues, in combination with the fact that I always had to bring this case to bulky luggage anyways, makes me think maybe B&W could sell this case with slightly bigger wheels in the first place, and maybe 4 turning ones also, to eliminate all these problems. For that, it would be really interesting to hear your experiences in the comments. Alright, I stop it. I think you heard enough that the wheels can be loud sometimes. I don't want to annoy you. So that's it for the video. I hope this was helpful. Leave me a comment if you have some more experiences or questions about the Foldon Box S. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye! PS, if you stayed for the whole video, let me know in the comments if you know what film I was watching in the plane.